Hi friends, welcome back to Simplify India, your ultimate learning partner. Before proceeding further, since this video is a part 8 of our series, that is a final video of our series on capital gains and its taxation, so we recommend you people to watch all the previous videos of this particular series for the better understanding of the concept. Let us proceed with the problem. Here we are going to learn computation of taxable capital gains with proportionate exemption. From the given problem, we have to calculate the taxable capital gains of Mr. Atmanan for the assessment year 2019-20. Here they have given the three different capital assets for which we have to compute the taxable capital gains, and here they have also asked whether Mr. Atmanan is eligible to claim exemption under section 54F, which states that sale of any of the other asset and the purchase of a residential house. Let us see in the solution whether Mr. Atmanan is eligible for the exemption or not. Let us proceed with the solution. First, we have to write the name Mr. Atmanan, status resident and ordinary resident, that is ROR, assessment year 2020-21 and the previous year 2019-20. The first capital asset is gold. Here the gold is been acquired in the year 2008-9, so it is clear that the given capital asset is a long-term capital asset. So the indexation benefit has to be considered. First we have to take the sales proceeds. In the given problem they have given rupees 4 lakh as a sales proceeds, which we have to take it down less index cost of acquisition. The index cost of acquisition given in the problem is rupees 60,000. As we know the formula, that is index cost of acquisition is equal to cost of acquisition into CII value in the year of sale divided by CII value in the year of purchase. The cost of acquisition is rupees 60,000 and the CII value in the year of sale, that is in the year 2019-20 is 289, and the CII value in the year of purchase, that is it has been acquired for this particular year, that is 2008-9, the CII value is 137. So when we calculate it, that is rupees 60,000 into 289 divided by 137, we will get rupees 1,26,569. Next, here there is no improvement made for the gold, so it is nil, and neither there is any of the selling expenses, so it is also nil. When we take the total, that is index cost of acquisition in the outer column, and when we deduct rupees 1,26,569 from rupees 4 lakh, we will get a long-term capital gain of rupees 2,73,431. Our next capital asset is securities. Here the securities been acquired in the year 2013-14, as it is a long period of time, so it can be termed as a long-term capital asset. So the indexation benefit has to be considered. So first we have to take the sales proceed, that is rupees 1,50,000. Then we have to deduct index cost of acquisition. The formula is index cost of acquisition is equal to cost of acquisition into CII value in the year of sale divided by CII value in the year of purchase. Here the cost of acquisition given in the problem is rupees 40,000 and the CII value in the year of sale, that is in the year 1920 is 289, divided by CII value in the year of purchase. It is when purchased for the in the year 2013-14, for which the CII value is 220, so we have to take it down. So when we calculate it, rupees 40,000 into 289 divided by 220, we will get rupees 52,545. Next, we have index cost of improvement. Here the index cost of improvement is been not given in the problem, so it is nil. Here in the problem, neither there is any information regarding the selling expenses or the brokerage, so it is also nil. When we take rupees 52,545 in the outer column, and when we deduct, that is sale proceeds minus the amount, that is 52,545, that is rupees 1,50,000 minus rupees 52,545, we will get a long term capital gain of rupees 97,455. If the amount reinvested in the purchase of a new house is less than the capital gain, then the proportionate exemption has to be given by using the formula. The formula is capital gains into cost of a new house divided by net sales consideration minus selling expenses. We should remember the previous formula for the calculation of proportionate exemption if it is applicable for the problem. Here in the given problem, here they have asked whether Mr. Atmanan is eligible to claim exemption under section 54F, which states sale of any of the other asset and the purchase of a house property or the residential house. Here Mr. Atmanan, he have sold his plot and in return he had purchased a new residential house. So Mr. Atmanan is eligible to claim under section 54F. Let us proceed with the calculation part. First we have to take the sales proceeds, that is rupees 20 lakh in the outer column. Next we have to take, as the given plot is a long term capital asset which has been purchased in the year 2004-5, we have to take the indexation benefit. Index cost of acquisition is, the formula is index cost of acquisition is equal to cost of acquisition, that is rupees 1,40,000 into CIA value in the year of sale. It is been going to sell in the year 2019-20, for which the CIA value is 289 divided by CIA value in the year of purchase. The plot has been acquired in the year 2004-5, for which the CIA value is 113. When we calculate, that is rupees 1,40,000 into 289 divided by 113, we will get a index cost of acquisition rupees 3,58,053. Next we have index cost of improvement. Here in the given problem, there is no as such improvement. The improvement is not been given, so it is null. Next we have to take the selling expenses. Here they have given the brokerage paid on sale, that is 2%, which has to be always calculated on the sales proceeds. When we take 2% on rupees 20 lakh, we will get a selling expenses of rupees 40,000. Then when we add both of this amount, that is index cost of acquisition and the selling expenses, I will get a total of rupees 3,98,053. When we deduct this total amount from the sales proceeds, that is from rupees 20 lakh, we will get a long term capital gain of rupees 16,01,947. As we know that Mr. Atmanan is eligible to claim exemption under section 54F, we have to deduct the exemption amount. So the house property, that is the new residential house, amounts to rupees 9 lakh. Here we have to note that the given the amount for which the house is been purchased, that is rupees 9 lakh, is less than the long term capital gain, that is rupees 16,01,947. Here the proportionate exemption has to be given, for which we have to use the formula, where first we have to take the capital gain amount, that is a long term capital gain amount, into cost of a new house. The new house is amounted to rupees 9 lakh. We have to take it down, divided by net sales consideration, which is nothing but the sales proceeds, minus selling expenses, which is nothing but 40,000. When we solve, we will get the amount rupees 7,35,588, which we have to write in the outer column of the exemption. And when we deduct these exemption amount from the long-term capital gain, we will get a net long-term capital gain of rupees 8,66,359. Now we have a final step of the problem. Mr. Atmanan does not have any of the short-term capital gain, so just we have to total up all the long-term capital gains of Mr. Atmanan. The gold, from gold, he gained a long-term capital gain of rupees 2,73,437. From securities, he gained rupees 97,455, and from the plot, he gained rupees 8,66,359. When we total it up, all the long-term capital gains, we will get a total capital gain of Mr. Atmanan, which amounts to rupees 12,37,245. This is the end of our series on capital gains and its taxation. So, Simplify India heartily thanks you people, all the subscribers, viewers and all the well-wishers for their patience and their immense support. And we would also like to have a feedback in our comment section. So friends, if you like our video and finds it informative, then please do share it with your friends, family and colleagues, and please do let us know the topics in the comment section on which you want us to come up in our further videos. Thanks for watching Simplify India. Please do support us by subscribing our channel. Simplify India.